walked away when it got hard, didn't you? You turned your back, you quit, and now you sit there weak, defeated, waiting for someone to hand you success. Guess what? They walked away laughing, but now they're crawling back, begging for the power they once mocked. Why? Because they realized something you failed to understand. They didn't need the easy path. They needed one thing only that separates the winners from the losers: discipline. And you've been playing pretend. The world doesn't care about your excuses. The world doesn't care how tired you are, how unfair life feels, or how many roadblocks you face. That's right, no one cares. No one's out here wiping your tears, patting you on the back, telling you it's okay. The winners, they're out there winning, while you're stuck here, still looking for a way out, still searching for an excuse to quit. And it's pathetic. You think someone's coming to save you. You think your big break is just around the corner. It's not. You're looking for a handout that will never come. The only thing standing in the way of your success is you, sitting there like a coward, expecting the world to bend for you. No, it doesn't work like that. The winners don't stop when it gets tough. They don't sit there whining about what's wrong with the world. They get up, they grind, and they push until they break the walls in front of them. They put in the work when no one's watching, when no one's cheering them on. They know that the world doesn't owe them a damn thing. But you've been too comfortable, too soft. You've been playing pretend in a game where only the strong survive. This is it. The world is out there, and it's waiting for you to either step up or stay behind. You're either going to take what you want or let it slip through your fingers. It's not about being lucky, it's about being relentless. And right now, you're not relentless. You're weak. You're afraid. And unless you change, unless you wake up and realize that you've been your own worst enemy, you'll stay right where you are. This is the truth you've been avoiding. But there's no hiding from it anymore. The choice is yours, fight or stay weak. You've convinced yourself that tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow you'll start. Tomorrow you'll finally get serious. But guess what? Tomorrow never comes. You know it, and I know it. You've spent day after day telling yourself you'll get to it. You've lied to yourself, and now it's a habit. Every time you delay, every time you push it off, you lose. You lose precious time, you lose momentum, and worst of all, you lose the only thing that truly matters: discipline. You think you have all the time in the world, but you don't. Time doesn't wait for you. It's not going to stop, pause, or rewind just because you want to take a break. While you sit there dreaming, someone else is grinding, getting ahead, taking what you've convinced yourself you deserve. You've built a comfort zone so strong, so thick, that it's become a prison, and you've trapped yourself inside. You've convinced yourself that you're just waiting for the right moment, the right conditions, the right timing. But that's the lie you've been telling yourself all along. Newsflash, there is no right time. There's only now. The people out there who are succeeding, they didn't wait. They didn't hope for perfect conditions. They just went. They took the first step, no matter how messy, no matter how imperfect, and they kept moving forward. While you've been sitting, waiting for your perfect moment, they've been building. And now they're miles ahead, and you're still stuck in the same spot. The bitter reality is this: you've wasted time thinking about what could be, while others are out there doing it. You've been too afraid to fail. You've been too afraid to face the grind. And in doing so, you failed yourself. Every second you delay is a second you'll never get back. It's time to wake up. It's time to face the brutal truth. The world doesn't owe you anything. You're not special. You're not above the grind. You're just like everyone else. And if you don't stop lying to yourself, you'll stay just like everyone else, weak, afraid, and stuck. You have a choice. Stop making excuses or face the fact that you've wasted your potential. You're not as busy as you think. You're just avoiding the hard work. You've been tricked into thinking That comfort will somehow make you stronger. That relaxation will get you closer to your goals. But comfort is your enemy. Every time you step back from the fight, you grow weaker. Every time you tell yourself that you'll rest for just a bit longer, you lose the war. Your strength comes from doing what you don't want to do. It comes from forcing yourself to get up when everything inside you screams to stay down. It comes from embracing the discomfort, knowing that it's shaping you into the person you need to become. If you can't embrace the pain, the discomfort, the struggle, you'll never break free from your own chains. This is where it gets real. You've been playing the game of life like it's some kind of casual stroll. You've been stumbling through it, making excuses, pretending like you're not capable of greatness. But let's be honest, every time you gave in, every time you took the easy way out, you betrayed yourself. You didn't just let down the world around you. You betrayed your own potential. And now you're standing at the edge, looking at everything you could have been, and all you see is the reflection of someone who's never truly fought for anything. This is the breaking point. You've been afraid to look deep into your own soul, to see what lies beneath the surface. Because what you'll find is a scared little coward who's been running from the battle, hiding from the struggle, hoping that somehow success would fall into your lap. But that's not how this works. That's never how it works. You're not a victim. You're not someone who's been wronged by the world. You're someone who's been too afraid to step up and do the work, too scared to face the very things that could elevate you. You've hidden behind your own fears, your own doubts, your own weakness. But right now, you're standing in the face of your own failure. You've been running long enough, and it's time you face the truth. You've been the one holding yourself back. It's that moment when you look in the mirror, and you don't recognize who you've become. You see someone who's always been a follower, always been stuck in the same cycle of failure, and now you're scared of what it's going to take to break free. You're afraid of the pain, the discomfort, the uncertainty. But here's the thing you need to understand. The fear is your weakness. The fear is the only thing standing between you and everything you've ever wanted. And it's only going to get stronger the longer you let it control you. But this is your chance to break it. This is the moment where you either step up, face the pain, and push through it, or you stay stuck in this prison you've created for yourself. No one's going to come and save you. No one's going to hand you the key to freedom. You have to fight for it. You have to tear down the walls that you've built around yourself. You have to be willing to look your weakness in the face and say, I won't let you control me anymore. You're stronger than you think. You're capable of more than you've allowed yourself to believe. But you've got to stop making excuses. You've got to stop avoiding the fight. Because right now you're at the edge of your greatest transformation, and only you can decide if you're ready to take the plunge. This is where the shift happens. This is where you go from someone who has been making excuses, from someone who has been running from their potential, to someone who can't be stopped. The moment you reject weakness, the moment you reject the comfort of hiding, that's when you find your true strength. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have everything figured out. All you have to do is decide that you're done playing the victim. The world doesn't owe you anything, and neither does anyone else. But you owe yourself everything. And if you want to break free from the chains of mediocrity, if you want to stop being just another face in the crowd, then it's time to make the decision. No more excuses, no more delays. You're not going to get the life you want by waiting for it to come to you. You're not going to get it by being nice or hoping someone will notice how hard you're trying. You're going to get it by being relentless, by putting in the work even when no one's watching, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it feels like you're giving everything and getting nothing in return. That's the moment when you become unstoppable. That's when you build the mental fortitude that the weak can't even fathom. The winners don't look for validation. They don't seek approval. They seek results, and they make those results happen. They do it through blood, sweat, and tears. They do it through resilience. They do it because they're unwilling to accept anything less than greatness. And it's time for you to do the same. You're going to face failure. You're going to face pain. But you know what? That's where the real growth happens. It's when you're on the edge of your limits. When you think you can't take another step, and then you take it anyway. When you refuse to let life knock you down for good. This is the moment when you stop being a passenger in your own life and start taking control. You're not weak. You're not a failure. You've just been too afraid to put in the work. But not anymore. You're going to push through, and when you do, nothing will be able to stop you. You will become the weapon you've always had inside you. Unbreakable, relentless, unstoppable. This is where the change happens. This is where the excuses die and your greatness is born. No more hesitation. No more fear. You're in the driver's seat now. You have everything you need to destroy your limits and rewrite your future. But you have to commit. You have to decide that you're done with mediocrity and you're ready for what's coming next. That's when you step into your power. And when you do, nothing will stand in your way. The force you're about to unleash will be unstoppable, and the world will see the power that's been within you all along. The moment you realize that you are the one who controls your fate, that's when the chains break. This isn't about anyone else. It's not about your past, your mistakes, or the circumstances you've faced. It's about what you're willing to do right now, today, to build the person you've always wanted to be. You're not waiting for permission anymore. You're not asking for help. You're not looking for validation. You're taking what you want. You are the one who shapes your destiny. And if you're willing to do what others won't, if you're willing to sacrifice, to push beyond every barrier, to refuse to let anything stand in your way, then you will become unstoppable. Right now, you might feel like you're not strong enough, not capable enough, or not ready. But that's the lie that keeps you weak. The truth is, you are already everything you need to be. It's just that no one's told you that you've been holding back, hiding behind excuses, waiting for things to align perfectly before you take action. The reality is that the perfect moment doesn't exist. If you keep waiting for it, you'll never move. But if you act now, if you take the first step, you will realize that you have more power than you've ever given yourself credit for. You are a force of nature, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can stand in your way once you decide to move. The greatest people in history, the ones who shaped the world, they didn't wait for circumstances to change. They didn't wait for the right time. They made it the right time. They faced every challenge head on, without hesitation. They didn't make excuses. They didn't ask for permission. They didn't complain. They just did it. And so can you. The difference between them and you is that they refused to quit, even when it felt impossible. They refused to let the world dictate their path. They created their own. And now it's your turn. You want to be unstoppable. Then stop waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to start. Stop waiting for a sign, for the perfect moment, for everything to be aligned. It won't happen. You are the sign. You are the moment. You are the one who makes the decision. And when you make that decision, nothing can hold you back. You are not just someone who has potential. You are someone who is going to do what it takes to make that potential a reality. The only thing left for you to do is to start. Get up. Move. Now, it's your turn to rise, to conquer, and to dominate everything in your path. The power is yours. The choice is yours. And it's time to claim it. There's no sugarcoating it anymore. The world is not waiting for you. The world doesn't care about your pain, your excuses, or your hesitation. It moves forward relentlessly, crushing anyone who doesn't have the strength to keep up. You're not here to be coddled. You're here to prove that you are better than all the excuses, all the fear, all the weakness you've let hold you back. The only question left is, will you rise, or will you stay where you are? You've seen it happen time and time again, the people who were once where you are now, stuck in the same cycles, making the same promises to themselves. only to end up in the same position. And you've probably convinced yourself that you're different. But you're not. You're no different than the people who failed before you unless you make a choice. The difference between them and you is that they stayed stuck. They let fear, uncertainty, and laziness stop them. They let excuses define them and they stayed weak. But you don't have to be one of them. Not if you choose to rise. Every time you hesitate, every time you put off the hard work, you cement your place with the weak. You keep sinking deeper into mediocrity. You let your potential slip away moment by moment. This is not a game. This is your life. And if you don't take control of it now, you will live in regret forever. There is no secret to success. It's not a lucky break, and it's not waiting for you to get it right. It's about showing up every single day, even when it's hard, even when it feels like you're losing, and pushing forward. It's about taking the hits, getting up, and hitting back harder. It's about the grind, the discipline, and the resilience to keep going, no matter what. The truth is simple. Either you rise or you stay weak. The world doesn't care what you choose. But the moment you decide that weakness is no longer an option, the moment you choose to rise, you will be unstoppable. The excuses, gone. The hesitation, gone. The fear, gone. That will be left is your will, your drive, and your commitment to be the strongest, most unbreakable version of yourself. So stop pretending like you have time to waste. You don't. Every second you delay is a second you'll never get back. It's time to step up and take what's yours. You either rise or you remain weak. The choice is yours. Choose wisely.